You were told that forgiveness would bring you peace, that if you just let go, softened your heart one more time, things would finally change. So you did what good-hearted people do. You forgave. Again and again. After the lies, the emotional distance, the moments that left you questioning your own reality. You forgave because you believed in love, in growth, in second chances. But here's the truth that no one prepared you for. In this kind of dynamic, your forgiveness didn't fix anything. It quietly trained the other person that there are no real consequences. In a healthy relationship, forgiveness creates reflection. It makes someone pause, take responsibility, and genuinely want to do better. It deepens connection because both people value each other's emotional world. But when someone lacks accountability and empathy, forgiveness doesn't land the same way. It doesn't inspire change, it signals permission. Each time you forgave, they didn't experience humility. They experienced confirmation. Confirmation that the pattern works. That no matter how far things go, you'll still be there to absorb the impact and reset the cycle. And this is where it becomes deeply confusing because your intentions were never wrong. Your empathy, your patience, your willingness to see the good in someone, those are strengths. But in the wrong environment, those strengths can be used against you. What keeps you tied isn't just emotion, it's conditioning. When affection and care are given unpredictably, your mind starts chasing those moments. The brief warmth after distance, the kindness after tension. It feels powerful, almost like relief after a storm. And that relief makes everything else harder to walk away from. So every time you forgave and reconnected, the cycle completed itself. Pain, confusion, relief, hope. And your mind slowly learned to associate that pattern with connection, even when it was costing you your peace. Then comes the guilt, the quiet voice that says, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I should just try one more time. But that guilt didn't appear out of nowhere. It was shaped over time, through moments where your needs were dismissed, where your feelings were minimized, where you were made to question your own reactions. Eventually, you stop trusting yourself. And once that happens, it becomes easier to keep giving chances that come at your own expense. There's something important you need to understand here. Forgiveness and reconnection are not the same thing. You can choose to release resentment for your own peace without reopening the door to someone who hasn't changed. Real connection requires mutual effort. It requires honesty, respect, and consistent care. Without those things, forgiveness doesn't rebuild anything. It just restarts the same loop. And sometimes, what looks like remorse on the surface isn't lasting change. It's a temporary response to losing control of the situation. The promises, the emotional conversations, the sudden shift in behavior, they can feel convincing. But if there's no real self-awareness behind it, the pattern eventually returns. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about recognizing what's been happening so you can move differently moving forward. Instead of continuing to pour energy into someone who hasn't shown consistent change, you begin to redirect that energy inward. You start by forgiving yourself for staying longer than you should have, for hoping things would improve, for ignoring your instincts when they were trying to protect you. That kind of forgiveness is powerful because it doesn't weaken you, it rebuilds you. From there, you begin to create boundaries. Not from anger, but from clarity. Boundaries that say, I value my peace. I value my time. I value myself enough to not accept what hurts me repeatedly. And that's where real healing begins. Not in trying to fix someone else, but in finally choosing yourself. I know there's a part of you that still remembers the good moments, the connection you felt in the beginning. And it's okay to grieve that. But it's also important to see things as they are, not just as they once seemed. Your ability to love deeply was never the problem. It was just given to someone who couldn't meet it in the same way. You don't need to lose that part of yourself. You just need to become more intentional about where you invest it. It's time to stop overextending yourself for someone who hasn't shown up for you consistently and start showing up for yourself in the way you always deserved.